there are many certifieds sitting in cages all over the country with nobody visiting them. Nobody cares. They're not on road no more. Their name's just a quick convo here and there to certify that they knew you. It's all long. You're going to be there where they are real soon. Who's coming to see you? Who's got your back? Look around. Look at the people who walk with you, who talk with you. Are they real to you or are they real to your name? Because come visiting time, you don't want to bust those gates and the only person sitting in that visiting room is the same woman who told you they didn't want you on them roads. The Artist TV in association with Block 5 Entertainment, and today we're doing a project called A Woman's Worth. You know, everywhere I go people keep telling me they want me to get people that are official on this channel. So today I've got the most official person you can get, a woman. You get me? A woman's work is never done. So how you doing over there? You good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so let me get straight into this. The man you love is in prison. He's been found guilty of murder. He's doing a long sentence. How does that sit on you? How does that sit on your life and what you're going through?
Well, obviously, it's like I'm doing the sentence with him. You know, I mean, you know him, so you know the situation and whatnot. So we're kind of like an appeals stage kind of thing going on. But it ain't for time just to hear anyone say it. It's like you're hearing the news all over again, you know. It's not nice. It's not nice to hear. So when people ask me, oh, how long's he got or whatever, I just say, I don't know. I just leave it. I don't even want to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into him for a minute. Obviously he's known. He's got a name on road. People will say he's official. What does him being official do for you now that he's sitting in a jail cell and you're out here trying to keep the things together?
It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, road life is road. It stays in the streets, that's it. There's no, you know, I know people run to road for different reasons. A lot of it is to find love. They think there's love in the streets. There ain't no love in the streets. Because once you're out of the streets, you're out of the picture. So, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting all these people to crowd around me and you know, take care of us and whatever, but it ain't done nothing for me. He might be able to do two things, get money sent to me here and there, but, you know, I'm struggling. So his name don't do anything for me. It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, let us know, how many years did he get sentenced to, and should we say you got sentenced to as well?
Well, he got given life.
Yeah. So what was that in the life sentence? He got a 30, if I'm right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that 30, how many years have you actually been out here doing so far?
I believe we're coming up to 8.
8 years. Yeah. So when you think about that, when you think about the sentence, what does it do to you knowing that you're 8 years in, and if there ain't no justice for him in any way, you've still got another 22?
I can't think like that.
Nah.
No. I don't think like that. He's gonna think like that. His family think like that. I can't afford to think like that, you know. I got the kids. I got things going on. I've got too much to juggle to allow myself to think about that. I would get depressed. You understand? Like, you know, I don't have to start thinking about what am I going to do and wherever. I've got children that depend on me, so I got to be positive, because when him and his family is not positive, I have to stay positive. And I believe, you know what I mean, justice will prevail and he'll come out. It'll be good. So I just have to keep it like that.
Yeah. So I'll ask you now, what makes a woman like a bad boy? Like, let's be real, there's plenty of men out here that are working a 9 to 5, stacking shelves, working the undergrounds, working the buses. They love women too. They want a good woman who will stand by them.
Yeah.
What makes a woman want a bad boy above that?
Before I answer that, I just have to say, when I met him, I decided no roadman, no one who is not legit, right? And when I met him, he lied and said he was a barman or something like that. So I was like, alright, cool. I got to know him a bit. I'm like, this dude is a roadman. He's getting the calls. This dude is a roadman. But by then it was too late. I was sucked in. But I am guilty of loving a bad boy, I must say. Yeah. Why? It's a subconscious thing, I guess. You know, you form, you know, if you're with a guy who's respected, a guy that can, you know, defend himself, defend you, yeah, you feel like you're with a real man. No disrespect to any guys who's doing it legit and all of that. I love that. More power to them. And I wish I was pushing him all the while. Stop doing certain things, you know, go straight, get a degree in something, do a business, do something. But we are where we are now, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's my obsession with Tupac Shakur. I don't know.
So let me say this to you. If we be real, we know that men that are real bad boys, that really are about the life, they either end up in a grave or in a cage. What do you say to that, knowing that yourself, that you knew maybe a man might end up in jail if he's really about that life?
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where, you know, I can't get through to his phone for days. And we're talking about around Christmas time. So all the scenarios just going through my head. He's going da-da-da and got nabbed on the way with a bag or what, do you know what I mean? Like all sorts of things, all them scenarios, you panic. Have start going around, I won't say the area, but start going around the area, trying to look for him, go to his family's house, you know, all of that. It's all mad. And it could be one or the other. Because really and truly, road, that's all it leads to. There's only two ways, unless you're fortunate enough to get out of it and do something better with yourself. That's why I don't understand. I can't understand how people get in the roads, right? But what I don't understand is that once you attain a certain amount of money, why are you man not then putting it into something where you can then leave that alone and build and do something and then start making generational wealth for your kids? Like, what is the point of starting in the hood? You want to be a hood star. Jail, dead. That's it. That is it. Like, that's dead to me. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, I was encouraging him, you know, go college, put your money into something, do something. And look where he is.
Mm. And while you was pushing them things on him, what was he saying to that, knowing that he's deep in the roads?
He had plans.
Yeah.
You understand? And he had big plans. He was trying to do stuff. He had enrolled into a college. He was looking to do things.
Yeah.
But that phone be ringing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That keeps calling. And the quick money just keeps calling. So now it's like, oh, well, he missed college, so he could just, you know, start next week. Then it's like, oh, I missed it and wrong, so I'm going to have to. And it's like, you're wasting time. It's gone, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can you do?
So let me know, what words does a man say to a woman when he gets a life sentence of 30 and above? Does he tell her, go on and live your life? Or does he tell her to stand by me, I'll soon be home in 30?
Oh. Oh, he told me to leave so many times. Go about your business. Go about your business. Just go. Leave it. He did it so much. Obviously, you know, out of love. He was like, move on. I'm sitting here like, I ain't going nowhere. Just move on, you know. So we've been through it. Trust me, yeah.
Yeah. So you tell me, what are the people like when they know your man's in jail and he's doing a long sentence? What are other men like to you when they see you and they might know of your man and know he's doing time? What's their attitude to you?
To them, it's like the cat that got the cream. And it's like, you see with me, even if they don't know me or him, it's like men have some sort of sixth sense. They've been swooping in, like, they just swarm. As soon as they know and hear the situation, you just see the grin. They can't even hide it. The Cheshire cat grin from ear to ear. They're like, all right, yeah. So they want to be the new man, or I'll be your man in the meantime, or I'll be your side piece, or whatever you want. Or they want to play all these roles no one ain't asking them to play. And it's annoying, and it's a lot, because there's things you miss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of that is just, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's not helpful. You know, they tell you, you're waiting for that jailbird. You get me? They're very negative. It's only, you know what I mean, a couple of men that know that I've been, I've like, do you know what, I rate you, I respect that, rare. And most man, they're like, forget about him, and you're an idiot, rare. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you yourself, what does keep you strong when you know there's bare temptation out there and there's so many years left? What keeps you strong?
God, number one is God. You know, because love is wonderful. It's a strong thing. But there's certain times where you're so weak. Love is like, what's love again? Like, you know what I mean? You go 8 years. You know what I mean? So I must say it's God. It's the respect that I have for my partner. You know, that goes a long way. You understand? Like, he has told me so many times, go about your business. Like, I love you. I don't want you to have to go through this.
Yeah.
Like, leave, innit? But no, I'm riding for my man. So it's that respect that I have for him.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you about the bad days. The days when the kids are playing up. There's no money, you've paid the bills, you've got no money to do anything. Nobody's there, nobody cares. Everything's long. And you just look around and you think, you know what, nobody's helping me, nobody's here for me. What do you say to yourself on them days when after all that, he might ring you up at the end of the day and he wants something on top of all you've gone through?
Listen, when it's like that, and you know, I've had a long day at work and the kids won't stop, and I've come in with all these bags, and all these bags is containing my money's done, and then this fool wanna call me up, yo babe, I'm not nice to him these times. I'm not even trying to be sweet with him, like, you know what I mean? I'll make him know I'm not in the mood. I don't want to hear it. I ain't got it. And it's like, I'll sit down and I think, am I really doing this? Like, am I really in this situation? And this guy, what? You gonna act like you can't tell that there's something wrong with me? Like, I'm pissed off. You're all about you right now. And it seems like it's like that a lot. But obviously, he's in prison. That's what it's going to be like. I'm not saying he doesn't check for me and the kids and his family and whatever, but he's by himself in prison, so he's got to look out for himself, innit? So if he needs things, it's us he's got to come to, you know. But when I need someone, who do I turn to? Like, there's no one there, you know. So I do, you know, occasionally I sit down and I think, is this worth it?
Yeah.
Because it's a struggle a lot of the time.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that a bad boy, a road man, or somebody who's sitting in jail doing a long bird really respects the role that a woman, a wife, a girlfriend, a mum, an auntie, a sister and so on plays in their life?
Do you know what it is? I've realised from watching him, I've realised that because I've known how many men that's been in prison or whatever. But I'm really watching him, I've realised that they only recognise the women in their life when everyone else is gone. When there's no one else there, the man them ain't picking up the phone no more. Because they're not the ones coming on visits willy-nilly, sending money willy-nilly. The man them ain't sending no letters. They ain't sending letters. I don't even know if half of them can write. Like, they're not doing all of that. Sending emails at 1 in the morning and all of that. Do you know what I mean? They don't do that. So when there's everything else is quiet, it's your mum you keep hearing from. It's your wife, your woman, your whatever that you keep hearing from. Your sister. It's the women, really. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's just our nature. I don't know if it's to do with that. I don't know. But that's the only time, because the sort of things he would say about a couple of the women in his life is a completely different thing to what he says now, in it. Like, he appreciates them now.
Yeah.
And I think before that, these men have an idea that the man them are the be all and end all. But what are they doing for you? Apart from, shouting out your name on the road, like they ride for you like that. But they can't even be asked to come and see you once, twice a year. Yeah. So why are they screaming your name on the road like that? Like, I don't get it. They just want to be affiliated with your name, but they ain't doing nothing to actually support you. So what's the point?
Yeah. Let me ask you, what's the furthest you've had to travel to a prison since he's been in there? How many hours did it take?
To go and see him takes the whole day.
Yeah.
I have to take that day out.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say I'll wake up about, I don't know, around 8, no later than 8. I'm not going to be back till about 7:30 in the evening. And that's, well, you're getting a 2-hour visit. That's me travelling, sitting down, all of that. Is long. It is long, and you're spending money.
Yeah.
It's tiring, and if you're going with the kids, forget it. Like, you feel tired for the next 2 days. Like, it's just this is long. So it takes about, whether by car or train, it takes about 2 hours traveling time, 2.5 hours, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So let us know, when you do go up with the kids, how much can a day's visit set you back money-wise when you're out here trying to pay your bills, keep the kids going, and working hard at your job to get money?
I mean, yeah, obviously I'm spending over bills for that.
Yeah.
Definitely, I couldn't pinpoint and say such a figure, but easily over bills.
Yeah.
Because I gotta pay for the 3 of us to get up there, then all food and all of that. Like, it all adds up.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap.
And is anybody who might be affiliated with him ever come forward and said to you, you know what, hold this for when you go to the visit so you can get there easier? Or hold this so you've got some money in your pocket?
What?
Nah?
No. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I'm not married to him. Maybe, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't expect it, but no, it's never happened.
Yeah. In your heart, though, what would be nice for you to hear or see from anyone to know, you know what, people really have got his back?
To be honest, it wouldn't even have to, nothing to do with me or the kids, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not any of their problem. I love it when I hear such and such went and visited him, or my brethren sent me a letter the other day. That hardly happens. That don't happen. Like, I love to hear someone wrote up. That's not in the space of a year. It ain't often. It is not often, and it's sad. So, I'm not expecting them to do what you can do in it. If you can't roll up there, send a little change every now and then. Like, You know, it's nothing to get online and send email and email a prisoner. It's nothing. You know, do something to show that, yeah, you ain't forgotten, I've got you. You need something, I've got you. That's what would make me happy. And that's what would ease my burden.
Yeah.
You understand? Because when he's in need, if no one else ain't got, like, if his family ain't got whatever, the pressure's on me, like, you know what I mean? And it's too much sometimes.
Yeah. So as regards the fact that obviously in the environments we live in, one of the biggest causes of how we end up is the fact of broken homes. Like, you know, we might have no dad, no father figure showing us better. Mum's trying to do the best she can, but obviously there's some things that a man has to show.
Most definitely.
So with regards now, the fact that you ain't from a broken home, the fact that he isn't here because he can't be, but still the kids are there, you have to do the best on both sides. What do you tell the kids? What do you tell the kids when you know that the dad might not be back for many years?
They know the situation. They know, you know, details that obviously I won't discuss on here. So they're okay. Like, my youngest might get upset occasionally, like she wanna see her dad, innit? But they get, I mean, we speak to him a lot, they get to speak to him a lot, they can send him emails if they want to.
Yeah.
You know, so we make an effort to keep the link there, keep the bond there, you know. But then every now and then my youngest would be like, when's daddy coming home? And I don't really know, I don't know how to answer it. I say, I don't know, hopefully soon.
Yeah. When he does get to speak to them, like, what sort of things does he try to put in their head regards their future and trying to do the best for their mum while she's doing all she can?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's normal daddy chatting that you've been good for your mum, is your room tidy, how was school? You know, he's very interested in school and encourages them about their schoolwork, homework, all of that kind of stuff. You know, he wants to hear about it. And, you know, he just tries to make sure they're behaving themselves. And if they ain't, you know, we discuss rules and regulations, punishments, and he you know, he puts it on them, you know what I mean? He makes them know that, listen, just because I ain't there, don't think I'm not there. I'm still about, you know. So he's invested in them same way, and they know that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, me myself, I know a lot of people that's been in prison or are in prison, and a lot of them I talk with. And one of the main things that pisses a man off when he's sitting in a jail cell is when people are supposed to visit. And all up until an hour before the visit, they still think they're coming. And then there's no visit. Someone might have woke up today and the car they was driving all night, all of a sudden ain't working. They might have forgot the time. They might not have no money, but yesterday they had money for some new trainers. What would you, as a woman who's 100% stuck by the man she loves, say to anybody who's out here shouting out man's name, talking about their official with them, and everything's nice, and they ain't doing a damn thing for the man? What would you say to them people when they're sitting there?
You're a bullshitter. You are a bullshitter. Like, you don't do fuck all, which is fine. But don't have man sitting out there like some plum where everyone and their loved ones are all busting joke and catching up and all them things. He's just sitting there. That's the kind of thing, it breaks my heart. You know what I mean? Like, especially when the man them don't come a lot. They don't come a lot. So when your friend says they're coming, it's something to look forward to that week or that day or whatever. And you're just left sitting out there. You've been stood up. And then they come with some flimsy excuse. You never got pulled by Jakes. Nobody never died. Like, there's no excuses. Something happened with the car. You get on the train. We're not in the sticks or in the wilderness somewhere. There's ways and means. If you were serious, you would reach. Because if that happened to me, I'd find a way to reach. It's just nonsense. No one's forcing you to come. Okay? So don't be doing all of that if you're not on it. But to me, it shows your levels, your rating levels is just low, my friend. So just keep his name out of your mouth and do what you're doing. It's not a forcing thing. Hate that shit.
Okay, let's get on to the fact of you again and your life and the everyday struggle. What we got to put this over proper. The everyday struggle of a woman that's got 2 kids, waking up, going to work, trying to get the kids to school, trying to pick them up from school, having a continuous headache of kids arguing in the house, wanting to do things the other one don't, playing with the toys, fighting over the toys, all the things you're going through daily, and all the bills you've got to pay, gas, electric, you've got to pay for the Sky TV, all these things. And then at the end of it, you've still got to find money to send to your man and money to visit him. Let us know just how real hard that is to do.
Well, like, obviously, with anything, you have to prioritize. You know, when he first went in, I was in a position where, you know, I'd be sending money willy-nilly. But I can't do that now. And it just seems like there's more going out than there is coming in. You know, I've got to wake up mad early for work. I got so much responsibilities and end up sleeping so late. I'm always sleep deprived.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going mad. It's like you're going mad, and these kids in the background, mum, and all of that. Then he wanna call up. So whether he's asking for something or whether he's being loving or whatever he's doing, it's all getting on my nerves. Like, cause I need a break. And I just think if he was here, I wouldn't have, you know what I mean, so much stress. Things would be, you know, there wouldn't be money issues and all of that. Because, you know, I have to, as with any good parent, I have to go without so my kids can have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when it seems like it's just that constantly. And then, so, you know, he'll want money, but I'm going to go do my nails or get my hair did. He want to say something smart. And it's like, how dare you? Do you know the last time I even bought clothes for myself? Like, I haven't treated myself. I'm just trying to do my nails. And you got things to say. But when you're asking for money for this, money for that, and new trainers and rare, it sounds like you're balling more than me. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, this ungrateful punk. I'm just trying to keep myself decent, and he's got the world of things to say. I don't appreciate that, you know? But they're living in their own bubble. They don't understand and realize how hard it is when we're left out here doing everything in it. And on top of it, I'm having to play your role as well. That ain't my place. And he never asked me to play it. But it is what it is. At least acknowledge that and be chill sometimes.
Yeah.
It's too much. You couldn't do it. You could not do it. But I feel like, you know, women are just expected to do the most and everything and get on with it and be fine and be cool. It's not always fine and cool. It is a lot. You get me? And a lot of people wouldn't be able to do it and would have cut time ago.
Yeah.
And fair play to them, you know? You're actually sacrificing and putting yourself in a more difficult situation than if you were to just be like, do you know what? Let's just cut ties.
Yeah.
You get me?
What would you say is the biggest thing you've sacrificed so far in the 8 years? For yourself personally?
Damn. Wow. What have I sacrificed? That's a good question. I've never thought of that. But I mean, I'm sacrificing my time here, my life, innit? Like, I give him my all, you know what I mean? When you have a significant other who's locked up, whether that's your child, your partner, whatever, you are doing that time with them, innit? It's not like I feel it for his mother sometimes, because she said to me, you know, she wakes up in the morning, she's cool for a second and she remembers where her son is.
Yeah.
Then she just feels it all over again, like she's locked up, and that is what it is like, man.
Yeah,
you're locked up with them. I'm sacrificing my life, because in them 8 years, what could I have been doing? You understand? Yeah, time is a precious thing. It's not something you can get back.
Yeah.
It's not something you can't pay for it, you can't work for it, nothing. That 8 years is gone while I'm sitting waiting for somebody. So I would say, yeah, sacrificing my life here.
Yeah. So let me ask you, is it harder for a man who's sitting in a jail cell or a woman who's waiting for him and doing everything she can out here while he's sitting in that cell?
It's difficult being in my situation, of course, and not everyone would or could do it. But, you know, I've got my freedom. As much as I say I'm doing the time with him, if I wanted to go walk outside right now, I could do that. And that's something, when I look at him, I have to say, you know what, thank you God, at least I have my freedom.
Yeah.
To do what I want to do when I want to do it. Within my means, obviously. It's not easy. It ain't easy. Doing that time, being inside prison with just all man, come on, that's not easy.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, it's hard. Everyone would have their opinion on it. Everyone would have their different opinions. I'm sure everyone locked up would all say the same thing is harder for them. I agree. It depends, innit? It depends what lifestyle you had before.
Yeah.
Because certain people in prison is the highlight of their life, innit? Like, they get in certain things they weren't getting outside, and it seems to be good for them.
Yeah.
As fucked up as that sounds. But for me, I would say it's harder being, because I can cut anytime I want to. If I speak to him tomorrow, I could be like, you know what? I can't do it no more, and move on with my life. He's still in there.
Yeah. Okay. So with regards to that though, what I would say is, like, you're out here, you've got all the pain of the bills, the kids, the time to try and do everything. In there, you have lost your freedom, but there's a lot of things you don't have to do. Like, you don't have to worry about bills, you don't have to worry about heating, electricity, feeding yourself. You know what I mean? Like, these things are coming naturally in there. But out here, you've still got to do all those for you and 2 people.
But it's a lower quality of life, isn't it? Like, the food's dead.
Yeah.
Can't guarantee the heating. You know, you can't even enjoy a shower. Like, you know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. And I think there's little things where you miss a lot. 'Cause you get institutionalized, obviously.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You are where you have to cope with the situation. But there's always going to be little things that you can't get and that you will miss.
Yeah.
You know, he can't just see his loved ones as he feels.
Yeah.
You know, I can do that.
Yeah.
And since he's been inside, people have passed away.
Yeah, and you can't be there for nothing. Yeah. Okay, let's get into something else. Someone will look at you, they see you're still young, you got your whole life ahead of you. You're telling your situation and they'll laugh. Yeah. They'll be like, you nuts.
Yeah.
Your man's got life, your man's got a 30. Dead.
Yeah.
I'm gone. What do you think of people with that mind state?
They don't even say they're gone. Like, they're trying to fill in a space that they think is vacant. Right? I suppose I can't blame them in it, because they don't know us. They don't know our relationship. And they're thinking along the lines what most people would think, innit? Like, fuck you talking about? Like, you know, because there's a whole heap of chicks out here who's man inside, but these chicks are doing what they're doing, right? That's the general story. So these guys come on the vibe of like, you know, let me, you know what I mean, place myself in there. To me, I don't need it. I don't need it because I'm in a relationship. I don't care where he is. He could be on Pluto. I'm in a relation. I've decided to stay with that person. So that's what it is. Whether he's on road or whether he's somewhere else, I'm with someone.
Yeah.
So I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. So what would you say to any woman who would say to you, listen, if my man went away for a year, I'm gone. There ain't no chance I'm sitting out here for 30. I don't know what you're thinking, but that's dead. Yeah. What would you say to someone with that mind state?
What's this to say? That's understandable. Of course. Like, I can't wrong her feet. What am I going to say to her? She's mad. Obviously, I'm the mad one, innit? Like, the majority would say no. So, you know, I can't say nothing to her. She's right for thinking that innit? Yeah. Everyone should do what's right for them.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the fact that out there, in some part of the road, some estate, some block, some woman has just started the sentence that you've been carrying for 8 years. Her man's just got in front of a judge and he's given him a life, a 20, a 30, a 40-year sentence. What advice would you have for that mother, that daughter, that niece, whoever it be, who's just started the sentence you've been carrying for 8 years?
I would ask her, is she willing to be locked up for the next 30 years? Because that's what it is. That is what it is. Yeah. Are you willing to do that time? You know, she may be all loved up and rearing, but she needs to think about that. Is he worth it? Is what you have worth it? Can you because you can't you know, say you're riding for him, boom boom boom, and then 3-4 years down the line, like I've known some chicks to do, then change your mind all of a sudden. Like, do you know what that's gonna do to him? Like, you know, are you sure? Do you want to put your kids through that? Can you handle that? And if the answer is no, do the smart thing and go. Because no one's tying you down. You don't have to. You see, this is not a thing of loyalty here. It's got nothing to do with loyalty. You can still support him and be there for him, but don't say, you know, you're gonna wait on him, and then you have man out of road. That's not fair, because they hear back. It comes back to them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't fair. So if you know you can't do that 30 years time yourself, then bounce. Yeah. There's plenty of man out there. What?
Okay, so let me ask you now. If you just went in front of a judge and a judge gave you 30 years, do you think your man would do the same for you that you've been doing for him?
No, he wouldn't. And he is a lovely guy and all of that, and I'm sure he'd send me money, but no, he wouldn't. I don't know one man that would. Maybe there's someone out there that could say they could, but no. He don't get me wrong, he you know, he'd be there for the kids and everything. Well, what? Like, he would have to be an alien to actually do what I'm doing. Yeah. Because most women couldn't do it, and that's fair, that's fine, right? But I don't know no man, and I've said it to him so many times, and he's like, no, he's tried to argue it, but it's like, come on, man, who are you trying to kid? You wouldn't, and I wouldn't expect him to neither, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this one now. Obviously, you're here, he's there. You've been through it for the last 8, and if things don't go well, you've got another 22 of that. Let me ask you about a youth out here now in a block, in an estate. He's a bad man in his mind. He's got his gun, he's got his knife. He's not built like your man, but he might just get a 30. What advice can you give him from what you've seen your man go through to tell him, listen, allow it. You're not built for 30 years behind them jail cells in the big boy prisons. I'm not talking about your little local. I'm talking about them dispersals where everybody's dirty with it. What advice would you give to that young youth to tell him, listen, know yourself, know better than what you're trying to do?
I mean, I would tell it that you said part of the answer anyway. Like, you ain't built for that, my friend. Like, you ain't. Even friggin' staff don't work in there for that long. Like, it's not a nice place, innit? Yeah. With these youths, I suppose, like, I would try and... You see, the thing is, when you don't have a purpose or an aim in life, you just waver, doing whatever, right? So my whole thing would be, let's try identify your purpose in life, because that is a dead end. That's it. All of whatever is attracting you to this lifestyle will end as soon as you go in there, innit? The money you're making, whatever, you know, kind of adoration or whatever you're getting out in the road, the girls, all of that, you ain't getting no chick for the next 30 years. That's going to be your life. Like, whatever it is you're chasing ends. You're going to be an old man when you come out. No one ain't going to know you. No one ain't going to rate you. You ain't going to be pushed up into some high position because, oh, you just done 30. Nobody cares. The world's moved on. And so when you come out now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your record? Where are you now going to go? Are we going to go back in the streets? I don't think so. Right? So let's try to identify what are you good at. Because enough of them are so intelligent. Enough of them are so smart. But they're just channeling that intelligence into, you know, illegitimate ways of making money. You like money? Okay. So let's use your brain to make money in a way that's not going to put you in jail. This life is a life of death. Whether you're put in a casket or you're behind bars, you're dead. That's somebody, that's you're like, it's like you've been cleared off of the face of the earth. You don't even exist no more. That's dead. And then on top of it, what? Your mother is going to be in mourning. Yeah? Because that's what it was like when we found out. Yeah. Is that we heard he just died. Because they just said to us, we're taking his life and we're putting it in this box. You understand? So all your family have to live with that day after day. Your mum's there wondering if she's even going to be alive by the time you get out. Is that what you want to put all your people through? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So you've been given God-given talents and gifts. Do you know what pisses me off? Sorry to go on a tangent. But we have people who talk about the system. They like to talk about this. Yeah, we know the system is designed in a way to put us down, especially black people, young black men, is designed in a way to oppress you and keep you, you know, over there, so you live a certain lifestyle, so you can now feed them being in jail, whatever. Now, that does not now mean the way to beat the system is to be making this money in the roads that's just gonna put you exactly where they want you to be. It doesn't make any sense. You can beat the system by using your brains, by using your heart. What do you have a passion for? Money is, what is it? It's just number. It don't end. It goes on and on and on. So if that's your main focus and you keep chasing that, you're chasing the win. you're never gonna feel satisfied. There's no billionaire out there that thinks, oh, you know what, I've made enough money, I'ma just chill. They just keep on because it's endless. Alright, but if you like money, fine. Let's find ways for you to, I don't know, make a business, or you can start doing this, that, whatever it is you're good at. Now let's look about, you know, putting our money to secure, because none of even these youths have kids. So when you're gone and you're in prison or whatever, there's not even all that money you were squandering on some dead belt, some dead Gucci belt or whatever, and a scarf and some trainers. There's nothing to leave for your kid. Your kid can't wear that belt. You ain't gonna feed them nothing.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So it's all about, let's put our brains together and find another way, because that is death. Period.
Yeah, real talk. Let me ask you yourself, what did you want from your life, and what do you want from your life that is now, let's say, on hold in some ways?
Okay. So, my whole goal, I want to be a counseling psychologist.
Yeah.
So I've got a degree in psychology. I want to go down the counseling route to counsel the same youths.
Yeah.
You know, people in the roads, get the young ones, so schools, PRUs, youth centres, you know, juvie, all of that. Because enough of them is like, if half of them even had someone to just talk to, not someone talking at them, but someone to listen,
yeah,
things would have been different, you know? Because from school, they just had people telling them that they're shit and they ain't gonna amount to shit. You get me? They just need a bit of guidance, someone to hear them out. I would have gone and done my masters by now if he was out here.
Yeah.
But because of the kids, it's, you know, I found it very difficult, because I'm like, okay, I've got to work and stuff. And, you know, just in terms of taking care of the kids, like, I got to do everything. So, yeah, it's a bit hard. So it's been put on hold for a while now.
And how long would that have to be put on hold? Like, when do you feel there might be a chance you can get back to that?
The kids are older now, so in fact I was thinking today, you know, maybe I should start talking to the uni and try enroll for this year, so that would be like October. Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, let's hope that can work out for you. Okay, well obviously this is a woman's worth. This is where a woman gets to talk about what she goes through on a day-to-day, and the fact of when she's sitting and trying her best to wait for a man and do the things that her and the man should be doing while he's locked up. So I'm going to ask you, is there anything that you feel that I haven't asked you or discussed with you that you want the people out there to know about your life?
About my life?
Yeah, and the day-to-days that you go through.
I mean, in terms of like just daily, just your average kind of thing, I mean, obviously the world keeps turning and everyone's got their things going on and whatnot. And, you know, my friends have always been very supportive. But, you know, it's like, obviously, they forget the situation that I'm in. I suppose their brain tells them I'm single or something. I don't know, you know what I mean? You know, so I gotta go through. I mean, living in this country ain't easy for anyone. I'm not trying to act like a martyr and I've got it the worst than anyone. By all means, it's stressful in this country. So just going through the stress and then the added stress of having him inside. And then, you know, certain times I have friends come in, you know, dump all their stresses on me, and I'm supposed to give them advice about their relationship, and inside I'm like, at least your man is here. Like, you know, it gets mad lonely, you know, it's just the little, for just having him there. It's not just that he's not there, he's never there.
Yeah.
He is never there. You know, you're in a relationship, but the person's never there.
Yeah.
That's hard, man. You know, that's so difficult. And, you know, where he is, because he's so far, I can't afford to be going to see him every couple of weeks or every month. I ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? I ain't got it like that right now. So, you know, it can sort of make me go into a spiral of, it doesn't happen so much now, but, you know, I would get into spirals of like depression.
Yeah.
You understand? And like I said, I've got kids to take care of. I can't afford to be in that place because I've got people depending on me. You know, so if you go through these cycles of emotion, and it's not a pretty picture a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a position that I've willingly accepted.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd like to big this woman up, because obviously it takes a lot to have the strength to come in and say this, give the people something real, and let's hope they appreciate this and let people get this message. Big up all the youths out there that are trying to do something right, and all them on the wrong road, start listening to them who's been through something, and they might be able to show you the way to a better road. Big up all the people that watch the artists. Will soon be something back that's real for you. 1.